So the project I've got today is I'm going to take a 22-ton log splitter that has a bad gas tank on the Briggs & Stratton engine, and I've got a donor pressure washer that the pump froze on it, and it's got a good gas tank, a good carburetor. I'm going to go ahead and take that off and switch it out. Hopefully all this will work. Crossing the fingers. Normally all these parts are interchangeable. It's just got different spacers maybe in between some of the hardware. Stick around and we're going to get going on this project. Got a Huskee 22-ton log splitter that has a old Briggs & Stratton engine on it. Problem is that gas tank is not holding any fuel at all. It's got some cracks in it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do the right thing. And this little pressure washer here, the pump's messed up on it, but it's got a good tank, carburetor, and everything. So we're going to switch the newer gas tank and carburetor off that one onto this one, and hopefully that'll work. Here's the engine that needs the fuel tank. Briggs & Stratton Intech does not have overhead valves. And what we're going to switch the tank with is this Intech right here. This one does have overhead valves. It'd be nice if I could switch the whole engine out, but I think the shafts are different. So I'm going to go ahead and unbolt this one and see if it's something we can do. First thing that I'm going to do is I got to remove all this plastic so we can see what we're working with. Most of this will be, I think, 8mm. Right over here where the fuel line goes in, there's going to be like, I think it's 10mm. And then this one on the side, and this one's going to have a spacer, so keep your hand just right underneath it. Pull it out. You can grab that little spacer. Really chinsed out on this model. That used to be metal. Alright. This engine has taken a pretty good hit on this side. We got a bent shroud. I'll bend this back and I need to disconnect the fuel line. Okay, there is going to be some wind noise today. It's just unavoidable. It's too windy. Okay, here's what we're dealing with. I'm sorry for the wind noise. So we've got the choke mechanism. I think this is going to be very similar to this one over here. Choke. Hopefully the same carburetor. It's definitely the same style engine. Got the fuel line. See, there's the damage I was talking about. A log or something has come and hit this. I will bend that back. Or, better yet, I might just rob it off this one right here. Okay. Let me get this taken off, and I'll be right back. Okay, if we look, it does have a different style carburetor. This one has the one that has the tube that goes across and then goes down. And this one goes, this is the Intech 7 horsepower. It'll go directly into the block. Slightly different, but really all I needed was the fuel tank. I'm going to go ahead and pull this carburetor off and see if it's the same carburetor. Hopefully it is. I need this carburetor. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull the air filters off. I'm going to go ahead and put the fuel tank on. Okay, I've got the fuel tank on, and just as I thought, everything lines up on this. So I'm going to put this to the side and go ahead and bend that piece of metal back out. Just take this and just bend it with your hand just about. It's so thin. But now that I got it off, I can kind of bend it back out to where it needs to be. Okay, I've got this part bent back out. There's a little crack in it, but I'm not worried about that. We're going to bolt this right back onto the engine. Floating around in this fuel tank. I need to replace this fuel line. I'm gonna go look real quick and see if I've got a piece. I'm just wiggling this fuel line right here until it comes loose, and then we'll slide off this fuel line. Okay, I got my new fuel line right here. I'm just gonna line it up with the old one. And you don't want to cut it too short, so I'm gonna cut it roughly around a 3/8 of an inch, a little long. I'm going to transfer my fittings over. It's real easy to do. Just get a pair of pliers like this, new fittings on. Then I'm just going to hook this up to the fuel tank, and we're going to get that fuel tank bolted on. It's just super easy. I want y'all to look at how much varnish. I don't know if you can see this. There's a ton of varnish in here. I'm going to have to pull this carburetor off, and we're going to have to clean it out. There's no way that's going to run like that. Okay, I'm going to drop this bowl. It's right here. I want y'all to look at what that ethanol has done to this carburetor. I don't know if you can see all that just calcification. It's jacked. OEM Briggs. Butterfly still moves. Needle's stuck. That's a big shocker, right? All right, I went ahead and ordered a carburetor off eBay for this log splitter. This one it's just a little too far gone. And in 2 weeks' time, we'll get the new carburetor put on and get it fired up. It's been about a week. Let's open this up. This kit was purchased off of eBay, and it's supposed to be a carburetor, everything you need to get this running. So we have the air filter. We have a spark plug. It is a HIPA brand, H-I-P-A. We have a carburetor. And we have a new prime bubble and the gasket set. Should run like a brand new motor when we're done installing all this stuff. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and just swap out this prime bubble. So this has got kind of like a little release that you need to press in. As soon as you get it started, you can kind of just push that ring out. I'm just going to pull it right on out. Let's compare it with the new one. Come over to you guys. So, the new one's a little bit longer, but it'll do the same thing. So we're just going to slide that in and pop it in place. Just make sure these little tabs are lined up with the openings. and then you're going to get a socket and push it in with the socket. Now we got our prime bubble. Next thing we're going to do is I want to replace this O-ring right here, and I went ahead and put some paper towel in here since it's been a week so no bugs would crawl up my carburetor. So we're going to go ahead and pry this off. It's very flat, still pliable, but it's definitely time for the new one. It's just going to go on right here. Perfect. Now we'll go ahead and hook up the carburetor and the linkages. Here's our carburetor. This is going to be pretty easy to do. Next thing we need to do is hook up the linkage. There it goes. That's just going to sit right on that O-ring. It's a 10 millimeter. It looks like I'm going to have to cut my fuel line a little shorter. Work it on. Yeah, I'm taking my spring clamp, putting it back on the hose. Gotta put our breather housing on. Good and clean. And it's got little holes that just line up, and so we're going to push those right into place. You can see there's 3 little spots that line up. Screws that hold this in place. There's a tube here for a breather. I'm going to make sure that's in. Gotta line everything up. Now this is, I think, a 8 millimeter. Alright, we're just going to pull and see if it starts. Really don't know if that primer's working or not, to be honest. Okay. Okay, now that we know it works, I'm going to go ahead and assemble it the rest of the way, and we're going to try out the functionality of the splitter itself real quick. Okay, all right, let me get some motor oil. I'm going to add it to it, and then we're going to see if the actual log splitter itself works. Functionality test. That'd be a big negative. Alright, so we have no functionality with this splitter. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to check the fluid in the tank and see if we can't figure out why it's not working. Alright, I'm going to get on down here. I'm going to see if we got any hydraulic fluid. Sure does seem like we don't. Alright, it says keep the tank filled to the OK range on the dipstick. Do not fill beyond OK range. Use universal hydraulic oil or Dextron 2 transmission fluid. I think it's just low on hydraulic fluid. Down under here, there's a little clutch mechanism. Oops, sorry. I got to figure out how to make that engage. It's probably something has just worn out. Okay, this piece right here is where my problem lies. This is not engaging at all. Alright, so that's as rusty as it can be on that shaft. I've got some PB Blaster here. Spray it on underneath there. We're just going to let that soak in. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been around a month since I was working on this project last. And today is going to be the day I'm going to go ahead and take that engine off, and we're going to see on how much work's going to be involved on replacing those couplers. Here's what we got. That piece was right there. Looks like I do have some room to pull. And then looking down here, there's the other one. And we're just going to pull that off. Ooh, this is what I was... Oh look, I can get it up like that. That was convenient. Let's see, just wiggle back and forth. There it goes. Okay, now I just need to find the right size. All right. Got the parts in hand. We're going to head home. This is like day 6 of this project. Keep getting the wrong parts or the wrong sizes, so I finally got it. Got the coupler for the pump. I got the coupler for the engine, and I had to go to 2 Tractor Supplies for these 2 parts because they were sold out of one. Then I had to go to a 3rd Tractor Supply for the little piece that goes in between to kind of just cushion it. So anyway, 3 Tractor Supplies. I got the parts. We're going to install these on this log splitter and try to get this project done today because I'm over it. I'm ready to get this thing splitting some wood. All right, first thing I'm going to do is tighten this down onto the shaft. So I got that. We're going to install this onto that pump. Be sure and use anti-seize on all these shafts and save your mechanic a headache for next time somebody has to pull this stuff off. We're just going to get the never seize and put a generous portion of it on this pump shaft. Whoever works on this next will thank you for doing this right now. So this happens to be a 1/2 inch. It says Nova Jaw. And I'm going to line the keyway up. Alright, I've got a ceramic block that I use for stuff like this. You can see that moves freely. Go get the engine, bring it out here and get the coupler put on it and get it bolted back down. So you can see that this old shaft has a lot of surface rust on it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some sandpaper and I'm going to clean that off before putting the never seize on it, and that'll make it much easier for that new coupler just to slide right on. Alright, with the shaft sanded down, we want to go ahead and get the other coupler. Line up the keyway, and we're going to do test fit. Just, you can see it just with a little wiggling, it'll just slide around. Our next step is that we're going to put this coupler onto this freshly sanded shaft. Line up your keyway, get it on there a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to pick up the engine and let gravity push it down to the height it needs to be. This little, it's like a dampener, and we will go ahead and put that in place. All right, with our coupler in the spot, I think we're ready to go ahead and bolt this engine down. Just be forewarned that never seize has a way of getting on everything. So keep some paper towels. Okay. Time to drop the engine and we'll set the height. All right. Now, all right, I know this is pretty redneck, but I'm putting cardboard down because I don't want to just get gross from working on this. I actually think I'm gonna have to put some washers under this. I got too much wobble going on. I'm gonna have to space this out a little bit. So I got to put about a 1/4 inch of washers under each one of these engine mounts. It'd be nice if they made this so you don't have to dislocate your wrist. Put one of these in. All right, I'm gonna let you guys feel the pain that I'm feeling. I have got a hose right in the way. No. Come on. Come on. Just start. Ooh, I might have it. This one's easier to get to. Much easier to get to on that one. Okay. No, 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 no. I'm wrong way. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. I was going the wrong way. I about lost that nut right there. That would have been so bad. I don't know why I'm tightening that down all the way. I gotta center the engine. I really just want to see if that's lined up. So we're going to start it up, then we're going to look down in there and see if she's lined up. Well, I'm really excited to get that going. I'm going to take it down to the log pile now, and we're going to split a log and see how it does. Failed last time. Round 2, will the hydraulics work on it? I think I'm gonna let it run 1 second just to circulate the fluid. It's not been running in a long time. That's a big sigh of relief for me because I didn't want to have to put any more money into this. I think I'm still going to change the hydraulic fluid, and probably I'm going to change the filter on it. But it looks like it works, so let's go ahead and split some logs while we still got some daylight. Got some heat to it. Well, I'm really excited that this actually worked. I'm sure my uncle will be excited to get it back. I think he's got a mountain of firewood he needs to split with it. It took a little longer than I expected, to be honest. With that coupler just kind of blindsided me. It took me, you know, probably in total 2 months to complete this project. Anyway, if you guys like this type of content, just give me a like and maybe think about subscribing to the channel. Anyway, thank you for watching, and until the next video, I'll see you later.